Are you looking to upgrade your audio equipment and simplify your church sound? Well, meet me at St. Paul AME Church, where I'll show you how we've upgraded our equipment and what we're doing to get the best sound ever at St. Paul. See you there. Today we want to introduce you to our mixer that we purchased for St. Paul. It's an EMX 5014C Yamaha mixer. It's an analog mixer. It has 14 channels. As you could see, we have each channel labeled. We have the pulpit, the pastor's mic, where we get announcements, the music director's mic, choir mic number 1, 2, a microphone for the horn, the overhead choir mics, and a mic for the board right here. We also have a input for a CD player, and then we have our effects channel, and then we also have an aux 1 and an aux 2, and then we have our main. What we did here was we labeled all of the cables as well, so in case if we ever had to disconnect cables or do any work, that we know exactly how to put everything back together again. Later on, I'll be doing a video on how to properly sound out a mixer, an analog mixer, and I'll show you how we take one channel and we sound it out properly so that we eliminate any feedback and any distortion. At the top of our rack is the wireless microphone units. We have several of them set up. We have 3 of them right at the very top of our rack unit, and then we have an additional smaller one on top of the other amplifier. So those are our wireless microphones. Now here are the main components that's attached to this mixer. The first thing we did was we installed a feedback destroyer, which is a Behringer feedback destroyer. Model number is FBQ1000. And this helps us, what it does is during the service, it continuously searches the signal that we're sending out for any feedback frequencies. And if it finds them, it eliminates the feedback frequencies. In addition, we added a Furman power sequencer. Now this is important because what this does is it helps the volunteers properly turn the system off by just pushing one particular button. This button right here where we've labeled on and off. When the trustee comes up and turns on the system, all he has to do is just push this one button. Because what that does is it properly turns the system on. Any commercial PA system has to be turned on in the following sequence. You turn on the mixer and all of the equipment that's attached to the mixer first, and then the last thing that you turn on is the power amplifier and any powered speakers. Now, when you turn the system off properly, it has to follow the reverse procedure, meaning that the power speakers and the powered amplifiers have to be turned off first, and then the mixer and any equipment that's attached to the mixer. So what this sequencer, this Furman sequencer does is it sequences how things are turned off and then reverses it on how they're turned on. And that's accomplished by there's electrical outlets in the back of this sequencer that turn on in a certain sequence and then reverse the sequence when it's turned off. And that's how we have our system set up, so a volunteer has to just push one button. We also have here a Denon DN300R, which is a digital recorder. And what we do now is we record our audio signal digitally by putting it on saving it on a USB stick that we able to put on the computer, and then we could simply email it to any members that might be ill and homebound and can't come to our service. So we could email them an audio version of our service so they at least hear the message each Sunday. In addition, we used to, the old-fashioned way, cut a CD, and then the pastor would have to take a CD over to a local radio station where we supply them with a weekly message from our pastor that is broadcast on a local radio station. So the old-fashioned way was we would cut a CD and physically bring it to the radio station. Now, with this Denon digital recorder, we could record it to a USB. I take that USB home with me, and then I extract the MP3 file, attach it to an email, and I send it out to the radio station. So that's been a big help to us. We also have a Tascam CD RW900, which plays and records the CDs. We mostly use that now if there's a visiting pastor or a visiting church that may have a CD that they want to be played to accompany a dance team or to accompany a singer, that they're able to give us the CD and we're able to play it back through our mixer. Now, in addition, we also have a powered amplifier at the bottom of the rack system, which we also installed, and this powers up the ceiling monitors for our choir. So our choir has monitors that are installed in the ceiling, and this power amplifier powers that. Here is another powered amplifier, and that supplies power to our fellowship hall in case we have a service where there's an overflow and we have to have people also sit and listen to the service at the fellowship hall. This amplifier sends an audio signal to our fellowship hall. In addition, what we did was we installed a speaker in our finance office so that during the service, when the finance committee is organizing any of the tithes and offerings, that they can still hear the message of our pastor while they're doing their work that they need to do with regards to the finance committee. And that's been a big help as well. At the bottom of our rack system, we installed 2 Furman power conditioners. These power conditioners are essential in helping to eliminate any distortion or AC hum that the system might be producing. And also, it's essential in protecting our equipment. Now, I want to note, especially for our trustees that may be watching this video, that if you ever come up here and you're turning on the system for the first time right before a church service, and you push that on and off button that we have, and nothing comes on at all, the first thing that I would check is those power conditioners, and make sure that if they need to be reset. And if they need to be reset, just push the reset button, and then all the power will come on. Here's what we did with our old mixer. We repurposed it and installed it into this cabinet so that our fellowship hall, whenever we're having presentations in our fellowship hall, that we could utilize this mixer for any presentations that's being done here. In addition, we installed 2 monitor speakers in both corners of the room so that this mixer can really do an excellent job here whenever there's PowerPoint presentations or any type of presentation at all. Now, we keep it locked up. We installed this lockable cabinet so that to keep children away from it or from anybody damaging it or changing any of the settings. So this has been really helping us out as well in our fellowship hall.
Well, in conclusion to the church audio equipment at St. Paul AME Church, we've gone over the audio system, the complete audio system, where it's installed here at the balcony at St. Paul. We've gone over the audio rack system and all the components that's in the audio rack system. We also gone over the analog mixer and how we've labeled the cables and we've labeled each of the channels individually in order to also make it easier for our trustees or anyone operating the system. We've also marked with white paint all the different faders, where the position of the fader should be, so that anybody that came up to the mixer would know exactly where the faders should be and also where the gain knobs should be adjusted to. We installed 15-inch powered speakers at the altar on both sides. This helps the pastor and anyone else that's at the altar hear exactly what the congregation is hearing through our system. So it just makes everything work better for us. In addition, we've installed two large screen LED monitors suspended from our ceiling on both sides of the altar. This way the congregation can see lyrics, scriptures, the pastor's sermon, or at least the subject for his sermon and main points for the sermon. We also include announcements that are all presented through a software that we purchased called ProPresenter 7. We also have a parking lot service the second and fourth Sunday of each month, and we utilize this FM transmitter from SignStech that helps us transmit the signal for our service to the car radios. So during inclement weather, the congregation can sit in their car and listen to the audio portion of the service on their FM radio. This is a view from the balcony showing you our sanctuary here at St. Paul, again showing you where the monitors are located. And our pastor also came up with an excellent idea where behind these two monitors we have two smaller monitors, that this way not only can the congregation see the lyrics and scriptures, but also the choir members can also see all of that as well, because there's two monitors that are facing them as well. We've also installed a monitor right on top of the piano so that the music director can also see everything that's being presented on the monitors. And in addition, we installed a small monitor at the pulpit so that our pastor can also see what's being presented on the monitors. The question of the day is, what are you using for your audio equipment at your church? Comment below, and if you have any questions regarding what we've discussed today, please send them to us, and if you need additional videos, we'd be more than glad to make them. Have a great day.